What if the key to life was simply to seek pleasure and avoid pain? It's a tantalizing thought, isn't it? It's the core tenet of a way of thinking that has been around since the days of ancient Greece, a philosophy known as hedonism. You see, hedonism isn't just about wild parties or indulging in every whim. No, it's a deeply rooted philosophical belief that places the pursuit of pleasure and satisfaction of individual desires at the very pinnacle of life's goals. It's an ethos that suggests that our primary aim in life should be to maximize our own happiness and minimize our suffering. In the world of hedonism, pleasure is the highest good, the ultimate value, and the end goal of all human action. But what does pleasure mean in this context? It's not just about physical gratification or fleeting moments of joy. It can encompass a broad range of experiences and emotions, from the simple joy of a delicious meal, to the profound satisfaction that comes from achieving a long-held dream or goal. Now don't get me wrong, the pursuit of pleasure isn't inherently bad. After all, who doesn't want to be happy? Who doesn't crave the thrill of new experiences, the warmth of love and companionship, or the satisfaction of personal achievement? These are all parts of the human experience, deeply ingrained in our nature. Yet the philosophy of hedonism goes beyond these universal desires. It suggests that the pursuit of pleasure should be our primary, if not our only, guide in life. It's a perspective that has had a significant influence on our society, shaping attitudes towards consumption, relationships, and even our sense of self. But here's the thing. As enticing as the pursuit of pleasure may sound, it's not without its complications. Like any philosophy, it has its strengths and weaknesses, and its application in the real world can lead to some unexpected consequences. So, let's delve a little deeper. Is the pursuit of pleasure all sunshine and rainbows? Or does it come with its own set of challenges? As we explore the world of hedonism, we'll uncover the answers to these questions, and perhaps gain a greater understanding of what it truly means to lead a fulfilling and meaningful life. Like any philosophy, hedonism is not without its challenges. The pursuit of pleasure, while inherently human, can also lead to a myriad of complications. Let's delve into some of these challenges. First, let's consider superficiality. Hedonism can often lead to the pursuit of shallow pleasures. We might find ourselves overly focused on materialistic consumption, overlooking deeper, more meaningful values. This superficiality can leave us feeling unsatisfied, constantly chasing the next thrill. Next, we have extreme individualism. Hedonism places the individual's pleasure at the center, but an excessive focus on personal pleasure can harm social cohesion and solidarity. We risk losing touch with the communal aspects of our lives, leading to isolation. Then, there's unrestrained consumerism. The quest for pleasure can sometimes translate into limitless consumption. This has serious implications for our environment, contributing to the depletion of natural resources and accelerating climate change. Procrastination and lack of discipline are also common challenges. When we're constantly seeking immediate pleasure, we might postpone important responsibilities. This lack of discipline can disrupt our personal and professional lives. The pursuit of pleasure can also negatively impact our health. Substance abuse, unhealthy eating, and risky behavior might seem enticing in the moment, but they can lead to long-term health issues. Depersonalization is another concern. When we focus exclusively on our own pleasure, we risk treating others as mere means to our ends. This can lead to a breakdown in empathy and mutual respect. Hedonism often fails to address deeper existential questions. This can result in a sense of emptiness, a feeling that something is missing despite all the pleasures we might experience. Our relationships can also suffer. The emphasis on immediate pleasure can undermine meaningful connections, making our interactions with others increasingly superficial. Lack of gratitude is another challenge. If we're always chasing the next pleasure, we might overlook the simple things, the everyday joys that give life its sweetness. Addictive behaviors can also emerge. The relentless pursuit of pleasure can lead to dependencies, trapping us in a cycle of craving and satisfaction. Hedonism can also foster a short-term mentality. We might neglect long-term thinking, which can have implications for financial planning, sustainability, and other future-oriented concerns. Ignorance of long-term consequences is another pitfall. Hedonistic actions often overlook future impacts. This can lead to negative outcomes for our health, finances, and overall well-being. Hedonism can also exacerbate social inequalities. Not everyone has equal access to pleasures and consumption, leading to a widening gap between the haves and have-nots. Moral and ethical values can also be eroded by constant pleasure-seeking. This can lead to a society where the ends justify the means, regardless of the moral implications. Pressure to meet hedonistic expectations can trigger mental health issues, including stress, anxiety, and depression. Emotional fragility can also develop if we're unable to cope with frustration and discomfort. Lastly, the disregard for the environment and personal safety risks are significant challenges. Environmental degradation due to excessive consumption and waste, and jeopardizing personal safety in pursuit of risky pleasures are serious concerns. These challenges, while daunting, are not insurmountable, but how do we navigate them? Addressing the challenges of hedonism requires a balanced approach. Let's explore this further. Overcoming superficiality begins with recognizing the value in deeper, more meaningful experiences. This doesn't mean we have to abandon our pursuit of pleasure, but rather, we should seek pleasures that align with our core values and contribute to our overall well-being. Meditation and mindfulness exercises can help us tune into our authentic desires and discern between fleeting pleasure and lasting fulfillment. Extreme individualism can be mitigated by cultivating a sense of community and shared responsibility. While it's important to prioritize our own happiness, we must also consider the happiness of others. This balance fosters social cohesion and solidarity, enriching our own lives in the process. Unrestrained consumerism, a significant environmental issue, can be addressed through conscious consumption. By making mindful choices about what we buy and consume, we can enjoy our pleasures without depleting our planet's resources. Procrastination and lack of discipline can be countered by setting clear goals and establishing healthy habits. Embracing the pleasure that comes from achievement and personal growth can help us balance immediate gratification with long-term satisfaction. Poor health due to hedonism can be mitigated with a focus on wellness. This includes moderation in our indulgences, regular exercise, and nutritionally balanced diets. After all, our bodies are the vessels that carry us through our pursuit of pleasure, and they deserve care and respect. Depersonalization can be avoided by fostering empathy and respect for others. We must remember that people are not means to our ends, but individuals with their own desires and feelings. The existential emptiness that hedonism can lead to can be filled by seeking deeper meaning in our lives. This could be through spirituality, philosophy, or even our relationships and careers. These pursuits provide a sense of purpose that fleeting pleasures often cannot. Superficial relationships, a common pitfall of hedonism, can be deepened by prioritizing genuine connections over fleeting interactions. Investing time and effort in our relationships can bring about a greater sense of satisfaction and happiness than transient pleasures. Lack of gratitude, another challenge of hedonism, can be remedied by practicing daily gratitude. By appreciating the simple things in life, we can find joy in every day, not just in our grandest pleasures. Addiction and dependence, serious risks of hedonism, can be prevented through moderation and self-awareness. Recognizing the signs of dependency and seeking help when necessary can ensure our pursuit of pleasure remains healthy and sustainable. The short-term thinking that hedonism often promotes can be balanced by long-term planning. Considering the future impact of our actions can prevent negative consequences and foster a more sustainable pursuit of pleasure. Social inequality, a potential result of hedonism, can be mitigated by promoting equal access to pleasures and opportunities. This might involve advocating for social policies that reduce inequality or personally contributing to causes that further this goal. Lastly, the erosion of moral values, which can occur in a hedonistic society, can be countered by upholding ethical standards. These standards can guide our pursuit of pleasure, ensuring that our actions align with our moral compass. By understanding the implications of our pursuit of pleasure, we can strive for a more balanced, fulfilling life. Can we find a middle ground between the pursuit of pleasure and the acceptance of responsibility? This question brings us to the crux of our discussion today on hedonism. Throughout this discussion, we've taken a deep dive into the philosophy of hedonism, a philosophy that places the pursuit of pleasure and satisfaction of individual desires as the highest values. We've explored how this philosophy, while inherently appealing, can present us with numerous challenges such as superficiality, unrestrained consumerism, lack of discipline, poor health, and even social isolation, to name just a few. However, the intention here is not to demonize pleasure or stigmatize those who seek it. Pleasure, joy, happiness, these are fundamental elements of the human experience. The key lies not in shunning pleasure, but in understanding the need for balance. A balance between the pursuit of pleasure and the acceptance of responsibility. A balance between the now and the future. A balance between the self and the society. Understanding the challenges of hedonism can help us to make more informed, responsible choices. It can help us to see beyond the immediate allure of pleasure and consider the long-term implications of our actions. It can guide us to seek deeper, more meaningful sources of happiness, ones that contribute not just to our own well-being, but also to the well-being of those around us and our world as a whole. This balance is not always easy to achieve. It requires discipline, mindfulness, and sometimes the courage to say no to immediate gratification. But the rewards, a more sustainable future, healthier relationships, and a deeper sense of fulfillment, are well worth the effort. In the end, life is about balance, and perhaps the true key to happiness lies not just in the pursuit of pleasure but in our ability to balance pleasure with responsibility, to make choices that not only make us happy but also contribute to the well-being of others and the world around us.